Привет, Victor. Как дела? It's not so good. I play my IS-3A. Remember how it was overpowered when it got introduced, but then you put in the game all the fucking Patriot and Liberty. They're just better and just kill me all the time. Could you make something completely retarded, but Russian, a tier 8 as premium? I have idea. Take IS-7 bullets, put big gun on it, put it at tier 8, and we'll have good premium blitz. Milk all money, have strong Russian premium, everybody happy. But Victor, how about game balance? It's not good to make overpowered premiums all the time. Who gives shit about game balance? You need to make billion a year, blitz. Nothing else matters. Okay, now go do your job and fuck you and fuck this game, huh? Hello ladies and mental giant, and welcome to another episode of Power Creep, or you know how these used to be called, Is It Worth the Gold video. Today we are looking at the object 252, Y or U. In Russian this letter is U, obviously in English it's Y. I'm not sure how they're gonna call it in English, cause the name is in Russian still. Anyways, tier 8 Russian premium heavy tank, cause we didn't have enough of those. Let's see what it's all about. So first of all, it is a hull of pretty much the IS-7. So you have 130 upper plate angled extremely steeply, so nothing is ever really gonna penetrate this. So, you know, good stuff, good balancing. Lower plate is weaker. You get like 209, 208 if you're very lucky and the enemy is not angling at all, but this is a lower plate that's very easy to hide. When we come to the turret, you have 240 gun mantlet. 250 front of the turret, everything's angled, everything is go fuck yourself zone. The cupolas are there, 150 armor on each one of them. Would think that this would be a big downside to this tank, but then again, I mean, IS-6 has the same, and if you use all your gun depression, the enemies can't really see your cupolas properly, so another go fuck yourself. You might think, you know, driver's hatch maybe is a weak spot, because, you know, there has to be weak spots, right? Nah. Fuck weak spots. It's Russia, blitz, comrade. Need the overpowered tank? We have overpowered tank. Side armor, 100 and 100. Plus some spaced. Well, this is actually kind of weird how this works because it should have a lot of angle here, but I'm not sure if the overmatch is gonna work with the spaced armor. I think it's just gonna absorb all these shots if they're not flat on. So yeah. Great tank for side scraping, great tank for hull down, great tank for frontal assault. Pretty much no weak points, right? Well, at least armor-wise there isn't any. Let's talk about the rest while we're in the replay then, I guess. Alright, here we go. Comparing it to an IS-3A, as they're the most similar tanks, I guess, to compare. We start off with 1500 hit points. 350 meter view range, top speed forwards 35, backwards 14, power to rate 13.67. The substats are by quite a bit worse than on the IS-3, so it's pretty much as mobile as the IS-3. Tank traverse 30, turret traverse 24, DPM 1650, damage per shot 440, penetration 225, aim time 3.2, accuracy 0.44. Self stats on the gun are better than on the IS-3A by, well, in every possible way, really. Shell velocity 1k for AP, that's not bad. Shell cost 1000, which is also not bad. Gun depression 6, elevation 20 to the back, gun depression 5, elevation 20. Tank cost is gonna be 10,900, which makes this actually cheaper as well. So yeah, power creep. Anyways, playing Swamp, top tier game. Since we're driving an idiot-proof tank, I instantly cross the middle of the open in order to go hull down at close range, because really the only thing that this tank requires is for you to be in somewhat of a close range, so the gun is somewhat effective. You always want to really have the retreat route, so you don't have to sit in the open. You really don't want to do that because the DPM on this tank isn't really up with, you know, a lot of other tanks. Then again, a lot of other tanks are not gonna pain you all the time, but still, you do not want to sit in the open if you can avoid it, of course. So, is this tank just flat out broken and overpowered? Well, yes it is. I mean, you get a same DPM, well, you actually get better DPM than on the T34 and the Lova. You get a fucking IS-7 hull at tier 10. I mean, they did buff the Lova also. The only thing that can counter the 252 is another Russian shooting on the move, of course. Yeah, the only weakness of this tank is that bad DPM, but because of the alpha damage, it's not actually that relevant, because, you know, if you hit for 440, it's fine to hit for 440 every 13 point something seconds. I think you can get this reload down. I wasn't even using a very good crew in this. My crew was 4 skills and nothing more, and if you have a Russian tier 10 heavy tank, you probably have a better crew than that already. And sure, the classical Russian view range is here as well with 350, which can be a pain in the ass on some maps. On most maps, though, it won't fucking matter, because most maps are tunnels. And in tunnel maps, this tank is just ridiculous. I mean, you get a decent pen as well for tier 8, so you never need to spam premium like you do in an IS-6 or the 112. So this will make you much better credits as well, even without that preferential matchmaking that you get on the IS-6 and whatnot. But this tank is just, I mean, what the fuck do you do to this in a super Pershing? Like, fucking nothing, of course. Like, unless he can see my lower plate, he can't even pen me with APCR properly here. And I can angle like a dumbass as well. It doesn't really matter. The angling on the front hull is so good that as long as he doesn't get my track here, he's never gonna pen anything. So, yeah. Just shitting on that super Pershing left, right, and center, and we're already at 3.3k damage. The thing that boggles my mind the most about this tank is not that it's just, you know, very good and overpowered or whatnot. It's just that it's also absolutely idiot-proof. Like, this is such a fucking abysmally easy tank to play. Like, the only thing you need on your keyboard is a W key. The rest is already set up for you with the ridiculously terrible balancing that Wargaming has done with this. Should have actually gotten that shot on the Scorpion, but instead we're gonna shoot this Panther. And of course he's gonna bounce off, because he has 202 pen or something like that. And what the fuck do you ever do to a tank that has 250 plus armor pretty much all around with the 200 pen? You go fuck yourself. That's great balancing, comrades. You really kind of beat yourself with this tank. And now the question, is this thing gonna be worth the gold? I mean, of course it will. It's the next episode of Power Creep. Every next tank is gonna be worth the gold. So, you know, in some weird way, maybe this is not worth the gold, because the tank after this is gonna be better, and the tank after that is gonna be better than all of the other tanks. So, it's actually, you know, it's a one-way road that only leads downwards. So there's no actual point really buying these or investing money in this game, because Wargaming just keeps flooding the game with these overpowered premiums, and every other premium is better than the previous one. So, you know, maybe you actually want to consider, yeah, like, not spending money on this game anymore. That's probably the best thing you could do for yourself and for the game as well. Maybe if people stop buying these ridiculously overpowered tanks, Wargaming will reconsider their business strategies. Extremely unlikely, because most people will just buy this, have a fun time in the random queue where they can just shit on everything because this tank is broken. But, you know, such is life, I suppose. Alright, kind of rambling on here, but to recap what happened in this game, I pressed my W key, I was sitting hull down, and I'm at 4.6k damage with 2k bounced and 600 assisted. So yeah, can't really complain much. I mean, we could have nailed one of the super easy shots on the super Pershing, and we could have not got shot for 609 or whatever the fuck it was from the Borsig, or no, the Scorpion. But to be honest, it didn't really matter. It still would have been one shot for this guy, so it is kind of relevant. And now the last guy, the Mill 2, and we're gonna make the classical mistake here. We're actually gonna aim our shot, which is clearly not gonna be how you do it. So this game is over for me. Alright, so here's the end play. 2,500 experience with a premium count, ace tanker, high caliber. We did 4,663 damage, 766 assisted, 4 kills, and 1,995 damage bounced by armor. So yeah, the next episode of Power Creep, guys. Enjoy. Enjoy. This does have to be ranked higher than any other premium in the game. This tank is just ridiculous. While the Patriot is still good, I cannot see winning a fight against this tank in a Patriot pretty much ever, so, you know, the next episode of Power Creep is out. And of course, it is better than everything else, so congratulations Wargaming for keeping on this ridiculous fucking strategy. Hope whoever is in charge of this gets fired as soon as possible and Wargaming opens their eyes, but yeah, they're kind of known to not to do that. So yeah, this is the amount of games I played and my stats in them, and I'll add some other end plates for you to be able to see how much money this tank can make in the good games, and I'll see you guys on the next one.